morning, everybody. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate it. My name is Allwyn Brown, Allwyn Brown. I am the Chief of Police, the Richmond Police Department. So, as you all may be aware, a Richmond police officer was run down by an automobile while he was standing in the roadway trying to break up a sideshow, directing traffic away from the area near Regatta and Marina Bay Parkway. Yesterday, actually, early Sunday morning after 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, this flash mob, it's basically a flash mob of reckless driving, showed up just after 1 a.m. Sunday morning. We got a lot of calls reporting it. Officers responded. Anyhow, a short time after that incident, the car used in the assault was found abandoned and damaged near the dead end of Marina Bay Parkway. It's since been impounded, towed for evidence, and it's being held. Of course, the ensuing investigation included an all-points bulletin throughout the Bay region. And that alerted us to a couple who showed up. One of them, the registered owner of the impounded car, showed up at a South San Francisco location trying to report the car stolen later Sunday afternoon. RPD traffic investigators went to South San Francisco and arrested both of them. Currently, the boyfriend-girlfriend team is booked at the Contra Costa County Jail in Martinez, the main detention facility. They are 18-year-old Juan Vargas of Patterson, the driver, 18-year-old Genesis Diaz Castaneda of Santanea. The charges include attempt murder, conspiracy, and making a false police report. Bail is set at $245,000. The Richmond police officer, an 8-year veteran of our force, has since been released from the hospital, and he is home recovering from his injuries. Richmond's seen an increase in sideshow activity lately, and we're rethinking our readiness to address these events. What we really want to do is discourage the activity before it gets going. So some of the things that we're considering are a more active social media presence, intel gathering to identify actors, spectators, and potential locations where these things may break out, and a quick response when they do happen. Using technology to document license plates of cars that are participating and spectators, and maybe some follow-up with registered owners that may include reporting to auto insurers in an effort to discourage future behavior of this type of reckless driving activity. Sideshows represent a significant threat of harm to the public, to actors, spectators, pedestrians, and the motoring public. The public should know, if you're considering showing up at one of these things, that it's a bad idea. We have to step up our prevention, intervention, and enforcement efforts to deal with this, and that's what we intend to do going forward. And with that, I can take any questions that you might have.
Will you describe in a little more detail about how the people in the car ran over this officer, how this officer played out?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, sideshow is being broken up, traffic's being directed out of the area because the intersection's blocked. The officer's in the roadway, clearly directing traffic, and then a car speeds up, runs him down, and then speeds from the area. And of course, we go after it, don't locate it right away. We do locate it later. It's abandoned. It's got damage, new, fresh damage, consistent with the kind of collision that occurred at the scene.
How did you react emotionally when you heard an 18-year-old mowed down your officer?
Well, my reaction, when any officer gets injured just trying to perform their duties is a little chilling for me. So the first thing I want to know is how serious the injuries are, and what we can do to locate and apprehend the folks responsible and bring them to justice. I mean, that's our responsibility.
What were his injuries specifically?
He's got some bumps and bruises. I think some bone injuries, some head trauma, and some other things going on.
You guys pulled the drones out. What role did they play, or are they going to play? Or?
No, this is sort of our approach going forward. I mean, we're looking at a mix of things. First of all, we want to discourage the activity, prevent it before it even gets going. But if it does happen, we want to be quick to get there, to document who's there, make any arrests, any enforcement that we can, and do some later follow-up. And so using technology and the ability to capture images is going to be a big help. I mean, even in this investigation, people's personal video, cell phone video, I mean, even some Sideshow spectators who were detained were willing to show video that helps us put together the pieces of this investigative puzzle. And those things all help. Our officers, are equipped with body cameras. We review that video. Those things help us identify people, participants, spectators, so we can follow up later. And even in this investigation, I mean, these are just the early stages. I mean, there's much more work to do as time goes forward. But we want to use every tool that we can to really make a difference on Sideshows and discourage them in the first place. Not in this case, right?
Again, Chief, if you can talk about the charges and the seriousness of this and the roles that these two play.
Yeah, I mean, so using an automobile that's traveling at a high speed to hit another person, and the automobile's a weapon. It's a deadly weapon, and serious injury or death can result. So the leading charge is attempt murder because of the seriousness of how this played out. And then the underlying charge is obviously, if you use your car in a crime and then you abandon it and then you try to report it stolen later, we're familiar with that tactic. Doesn't usually work. And so the charge of making a false police report, it's a crime to make a false police report. And then to conspire with one another to do that is a conspiracy charge.
Could you confirm that the owner was actually the driver that time?
Through statements, through video evidence, and other things.
Can you just talk? And he was driving.
Talk us through one more time about how the steps that led to the arrest.
So once we found the car, we could figure out who the registered owner was, and then we could communicate the fact that we had the car to all the law enforcement agencies in the area in the event that the owner might want to report it stolen or missing. And that led us to the couple who were in the car, one of them being the registered owner, and that led to the arrest.
Where in South San Francisco?
I don't know the exact location, but in the city of South San Francisco.
And he was driving.
He was driving during the incident, correct.
Is he admitted to anything? Is he remorseful?
Well, can't go into, sort of the investigative stuff. Been booked into the jail last night, and more investigative sort of work has to be done. And then we'll present the entire case to the district attorney, and a decision will be made on charges shortly after that.
How often are sideshows like these happening in Richmond? I mean, we obviously heard a lot about this one.
Yeah, they haven't been a frequent occurrence in Richmond, but they've sort of increased. I guess popularity's grown around the Bay region, and so calls for us to kind of rethink how we approach it and sort of step more effort so that we can discourage the activity in the future.
So you're going to respond. I mean, the idea is to respond with more manpower right off the bat.
Yeah, respond quicker, more manpower and technology. Get that bird's eye view in the air, capturing images. The nice thing about one of our unmanned aerial systems is that it's equipped with infrared, so it can see at night, see in the darkness, as well as during the daytime. And that helps us capture license plates for later follow-up.